But if you're going to climb in the car, then, you know, you can sit and meow all you want. I'm just taking some compost up to the plot, just parked up and jumped in the car. Welcome back to another episode of the Allotment Family Diary. As is often the case with allotments, it can be quite noisy, what with all the strimmers and lawnmowers, so this is why you've got a voiceover Tom for this section. In the first half of this video, we're going to be popping our brassicas into the ground. We have some sprouts and black magic kale, which are more than ready to go. We've started off some sprouts from seed in the polytunnel. These were planted towards the end of June, and they're more than ready now to go into the ground. We also purchased some black magic kale from a local gardening centre, and again, this is raring to go. Hannah and I spent the morning preparing the ground. Our early potato crop was in this area, and due to the hot summer, the ground has become incredibly hard. What we wanted to do is pop in a load of horse manure compost. This is going to be perfect for brassicas, although the ground did need to be broken up quite ferociously with the mattock at one point. We made sure that all the horse manure compost was dug into the ground nicely for the brassicas. Breaking up the ground as we went, we also found a lot of potatoes that we had missed when digging up our early crop. Nice new hoe.
Yeah, nice and sturdy anyway.
Yeah, we finally caved in and got a new hoe because the other one was quite old, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really? And this one's quite big compared to the last one.
You can certainly tell the difference.
Yeah.
It is more sturdy.
And you're just using it to break the ground up more, aren't you?
I am.
Because I'm rubbish at digging. Hannah's the best digger in the family, but she's hurt her back, so I've dug this over, and it took me about an hour and a half.
If I'd done it, it would take me much less than that.
Well, I think you did this one in about half an hour one evening. So yeah, I'm quite slow, but
it gets done.
Yeah. But yeah, the strummer man stopped now, so we can talk again. So yeah, we need to put in the horse manure now, dig it over again, and then we can put in the sprouts and the kale.
Well, at least that's done anyway. That was the hard part, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Preparing the ground, because it was rock hard.
Yeah, it was really hard actually. Yeah.
But we did try to soak it a bit last night, didn't we? Just to try and soften it, but
Yeah, it did soak it. But that's done. Oh, I hate digging. That's like the worst part of having an allotment.
I actually like digging.
You like it?
I find it relaxing.
It's just weird.
I don't like weeding though.
I don't mind weeding that. It's quite nice coming up in an evening and doing it. Well, okay, you can do more digging.
Yeah, when my back's bad.
So what is next? So the ground is done and we put all the horse manure. Apparently sprouts and brassicas, kale like horse manure, so that's why we've dug that in. We're not going to make the ground too fine because we don't need to. It's not like beets where it has to be quite a fine ground. They can kind of just grow through it and they're quite hardy. We've weeded it. We found so many potatoes left over. We've got a whole basket full.
So it's potatoes for dinner tonight?
Yeah, potato dinner. And next, we're going to put up netting around them. So we need to space out the poles where they're going to be, put the jam jars on top, put the netting on later after we put in the green babies. But let's have a break because
even though it's not sunny, it's very, very humid, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a nice breeze now.
Oh, I'm going to show you the moolie, give you a moolie update. Let's do that. So these went in about 2 weeks ago now, and they're growing all right. There's There's some eggs on the bottom of them. Fantastic. I have been spraying them with bug spray because I don't mind using like the low strength stuff that you can get from garden centres, that sort of thing. We don't use any industrial pesticides because we're not farmers. Anyway, they're looking good. Right, they're looking fine. There's a lot of holes in them, as you can see, and this, and I've seen it myself, if you ever wonder if you get holes in your moolie, it's flea beetles, and I've seen them on the actual plants, hence why I've been spraying them. And also cabbage whites, which are everywhere. We've got caterpillars in polytunnel now, that's great. And we've had the odd slug. So Dave and Michael have been here. Yeah, they've come back and they've had a little nibble. But these are doing okay, they're fine. They're quite hardy, I'm not too worried about them. I thinned them out to about 4 inches apart, each one. And it's just a case of letting them grow now. I'd say they're probably, like the greenery is about a third of its like potential size, maybe even a quarter of its potential size. So they will get quite big, but they're doing all right. So there you go, there's your moolie update. They're coming on strong. Come here, look at this. So if you saw our members only vlog the other day, we went to Trago, which is a huge department store. They sell everything, there's loads of bargains, and they got a massive garden centre and show gardens designed by Chelsea Flower Show winners, I think. So if you haven't seen that vlog, please become a member and go and check out the video, it's really good. We do a big tour of it, it's great. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm banging these in. So we got these from Trago the other day. They're just general like plant poles to support plants, but we're going to use them all around this plot. Plonk jam jars on them to keep the netting in place. So I've measured them precisely because I'm really particular about things like that. And now it's just a case of banging them in all at the same height. So when we get to do the netting, it'll be all nice and protected from like butterflies and cabbage whites and burbs as well. Wood pigeons, they like eating brassicas. That's a plaint, right? If you ever wondered sometimes why we use the microphones and why we do voiceovers, it's because this allotment is right over a flight path. So a bit of trivia there for you. Anyway. Well, Han has had to nip home to take a delivery, but we finished putting the poles in. They're all ready for the netting to go on top. And I have just started marking out where the kale and the sprouts are going to go. Now, I had a problem because I didn't have anything to mark them with, where they're going to be planted, but I came up with a solution. So as you know, we've got this big old pine tree next to our plot, and well, what better to mark your plants with than pine cones? So just so I can get the spacing for them, this is where the kale is going to go. You can probably just about make out the pine cones there. Why not? Make do with the things you have on your plot. This is where the kale will go, and they're spaced roughly about 25 inches apart. We've got 9 kale plants, so these will fit in nicely here. Hi, Socks. It's a visit from Socks. He is very shy. Yeah, doesn't want to come and see us. What a tough morning's work, but totally worth it. Here we are, all ready for the kale and the Brussels to go in. Nice bit of horse manure, compost chucked in with it, all dug over, all weeded. Stakes in, ready for the netting to go over the top. Brilliant. So we're going to have 9 Brussels sprout plants in the area at the top. I was going to fit more, but reading up about it, I don't think it's a good idea. If you look at the RHS website, it says it's crucial to give them a good 24 inches between plants. So that's what I've gone for. I think we've got like 18 Brussels plants, but I'm sure I can give them to a neighbour rather than let them go to waste. And then down here, we're going to have 9 Black Magic Kale. So yeah, it's just a case of putting them in now. But it's got extremely hot again, and I'm not going to moan about the weather because I'm grateful for the sunshine. But what I do have to do is nip home for a bit. We are going to come up later on. Han will come up with me, maybe Flo, we'll see, and we will get these in later because we've got some jobs to do at home. But yeah, really pleased with that. Worked really hard, and it's great to have this bit of ground back in action again. Brilliant. Right, pack up and go now. So hot. So hot, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. Oh, before I start, I'm going to have to sit down because I'm quite tired after dealing with the flat pack furniture. Hey, here's a good one for you. What do you get when you flat pack a pumpkin? Squash. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to be done. Yeah, so anyway, it's just me tonight. Hannah and Flo are at home. Flo is in the middle of redesigning and rebuilding her bedroom, hence the flat pack furniture. So yeah, that's going on. They're going to deal with that tonight. And I thought I'd come up on my own anyway and get the sprouts and the black magic kale in. Let's get it done. Let's get them in. I think the sprouts are probably a bit overdue to go in anyway, so it's very unlikely we'll be harvesting them this side of Christmas. Give it a go. Why not? The kale, that should be all right. Once I've done all that, I'm going to catch up with you guys and tell you some news that's been going on here. As the thumbnail may suggest. Yeah, I'm not going to use profanities because it's a family channel, but believe me, it is really not cool what is going on. But I will fill you guys in on what is happening after we've put all these brassicas in. Get them in the ground. Anyway, I'm going to start off by filling up some watering cans, mixing in some lovely fostrogen, which is going to be a great feed for leafy greens. They're going to love this stuff, and they probably are overdue a feed anyway. So I'm going to dig their little holes for the plants to go in, water it from the bottom first, and then pop them in, and we'll give it another light watering afterwards. But yeah, hang tight. I've got a tale to tell you, some news, and I will try my best not to swear. I promise. But honestly, raging about it. Anyway, right, let's crack on with this. For 7 o'clock in the evening, it is really gloomy. There wasn't any rain forecast, but, well, hey, you never know. Well, I have got the holes watered for the kale. So we're going to go ahead and get the kale put in now. And, yeah, okay, some of you may have noticed I'm wearing flip-flops. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt my feet. I am very used to going barefoot a lot of the time, so flip-flops is an upgrade. And I'm not doing any heavy digging, so there is no way I'm going to break any bones in my feet. But safety warning, if you are digging, make sure you're wearing suitable footwear. Disclaimer, safety. Look at this, 8 o'clock in the evening in the middle of summer, and it's like it's getting dark already. Oh, blimey. Anyway, okay, so I put in the 9 Brussels, and obviously we've got the kale in. So the last thing to do is to get the netting over here. So I'm going to start off by plonking jam jars on each one of these canes, and then we will chuck the netting over and peg it in. But it looks really dark. I don't know if the camera's picking it up properly, but blimey, 8 o'clock on a British summer evening. Pop on the last jam jar. If you're wondering what these jam jars do, it's basically just to stop the netting from tearing from the poles, or even just slipping through the poles and falling down onto the plants. So yeah, it's a good way to recycle the jam jars, to be honest. Well, that's done. All the netting is up. Sorry, I did not film that because that was not fun, and nor was it very dignified putting that up. I tell you, that was quite the struggle, if I'm honest. But it's done. It's all stretched. Looking quite nice over there. We got some little pegs, some ground pegs to hold it all in place. Yeah, so hopefully this is going to keep the butterflies out and the birds away. Yeah, that was such a mission. That was a struggle. I'm not kidding. That really was a struggle. Anyway, okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there's something I want to talk to you guys about. And yeah, let's go and have a chat about a little incident or a series of incidents that's occurring at the allotments at the moment. Hey guys, it's Tuesday today. I did record a little piece last night, but upon looking back on it, I don't really think it was suitable for the channel, to be honest. Emotions were running high, so I thought I'm going to leave it for a night and come back the following day and talk about this. But I wanted to talk about something that's been happening up here recently. So I've kind of touched on it and joked about it. I think in the last video, maybe, I've also done a members only video about this, a big unedited chat. So if you want to become a member and have a look at that video, you can. But I'm going to talk about it here because I kind of feel like it's something that needs to be brought to a wider audience and spoken about more publicly rather than just being made into a members video. So if you are a member, you'll know kind of what this is about, and it is basically that looking at the thumbnail of the video as well, there's a thief up here. Okay, so there is someone who is actively stealing things from people at the allotment. As far as we know, it's only produce, but hey, that's not the point. The theft is theft. So we think this has been going on for some time now, well, a couple of months at least. I mean, it's since things have been ready to harvest. So in the past, there's been several thefts up here. There's been break-ins. Tilly has had her shed broken into like 4 or 5 times, I think, in the past. And they've just taken things like crisps. I think they stole a torch, something like that. We kind of chalked this up. I mean, back in the day, like, apparently kids used to break in and steal petrol from like strimmers and mowers for their mopeds and things like that. But yeah, there was someone who was stealing things from sheds, breaking into, like, chopping off the padlocks and getting in. And that stopped anyway. But yeah, this growing season, I mean, it's been quite difficult for everyone. Things have not been easy to grow this year. So I kind of chalking this down to, quite honestly, an inside job. I think it's someone here at the plot who's doing it. There's no way you are going to jump quite a big gate to get in here just to steal a bit of veg. And it only seems to be happening in particular on one plot, which is quite close to sort of a main road where cars travel up, and it's an area where you get to other plots. So I kind of think it's an inside job. I think it's someone up here who is doing it, quite honestly. Now, okay, yeah, you might think, oh, it's only a bit of veg, it doesn't matter. Well, it does. Theft is theft. You don't go into supermarkets stealing food, do you? So don't steal produce from people up here. The thing that really winds me up and annoys me about this is the fact, being fairly new to the growing scene, we know how difficult it is to grow your own veg and how expensive and time consuming it is to do this. And the fact that someone just thinks that it's okay to walk onto someone else's plot and take their produce is just bang out of order. Really is. I'm going to try not to get too angry about this. And, you might think, oh, well, there's other things, bigger things going on in the world to worry about. Well, this is like a safe place for people. This is a place where people come to relax, to better their mental health, their physical health, be part of the community, make friends, all sorts of things. And yeah, it is really horrible to think that someone up here is willing to just go and take your hard work for themselves. I think what makes it worse as well is, like I said, it's stuff that you've put money and time into, things that you've nurtured from seed and have spent months looking after and growing. It's almost like, it's stealing someone's creativity, something they've created. Like an artist paints a picture and someone steals it. So, I mean, I would consider myself an artist. I do various creative projects that are allotment related. And, I've had ideas borrowed from original works I've created in the past. And it's really annoyed me, the fact that, they haven't at least given credit for the work that I've done and the ideas, the inspiration they've taken from it. It really winds me up. I've always been a person who thinks give credit where credit is due at the end of the day, And, actually physically going on to someone's plot. This feels like dirty that someone's gone in and done that. Really winds me up. Really does. So, a bit more history on this. So we know that they're actively going on to more than one plot because it has now got to the point where signs have been put up on the gate informing people that there is a thief around. So people are being encouraged to take pictures if they see anyone going on plots that aren't theirs, which is all well and good, but certain people up here are kind of quite vulnerable and probably wouldn't want to actively pull out a camera and start taking photos of someone on a plot that they don't know is theirs. Who's going to feel confident enough to do that? Who is going to make a point of taking a picture if they even see it? We don't know when it's happening. This is the thing. So the person that they've stolen from, like various things from, is someone that we know, and they are a lovely, lovely person. And it's not fair, just because their plot is near like a road in the allotment, it's almost like they're getting targeted. So anyway, I mean, what can you do about this, really? Because, the council, I wouldn't expect them to. It's not like they can pay for a CCTV camera on every plot, is it, really? And like I say, I wouldn't expect them to do that. There's like an element of trust in these communities, and to think that someone's abusing that trust is like, really not nice. But I'll say this, that we are taking matters into our own hands with this, and we've put certain things in place to try and catch this person. It is only a matter of time, and we will catch them, and we will have evidence of them in the act doing what they're doing, and this will be forwarded on to the relevant authorities, and we'll get them kicked off the allotment. It's quite simple. They won't stay up here. We will catch them. And I'll say this, I will happily expose this person on our channel here if I get the evidence. But, that's it. That's the state of play. I mean, I'm going to keep you guys updated with any updates, anything that happens. I'm going to put it up here on the channel and let you guys know what's going on. But until then, we just put our plan into play, and it's kind of a waiting game. God, we're like vigilantes of the allotment or something. I don't know. But no, it's not nice. This is a safe place for people. It's a community, and someone's abusing that trust, and it's got to stop. Has to stop.